What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Ask Kevin Yee. And we're actually shooting at my place because when we shot the footage earlier at Angela's place, it got all fucked up. We lost all of it. So we were shooting in my ghetto apartment. Look at this. The chairs aren't even the same size. You guys, I have a special guest, Angela.
Hi.
We went to school together at MCPHS. Today we are actually doing reality versus expectations. So we are gonna ask Angela 5 things that she thought pharmacy would be like, and we're gonna see what actually happened. Angela, why don't you talk about how we first met?
Okay, funny story. So me and Kevin, we had a course together. He actually drove me to these classes almost once a week, right?
Yeah, it was like once a week.
Once a week, and it was me and this one other girl, and he never remembered me until my 3rd year of school.
Yeah.
And we...
Dude, this was like for 1 semester too. It's really bad.
Yeah, and he doesn't remember me at all, not even my name or who I was.
Nope.
Anyways, 3rd year comes around and we went to this Halloween party, and I got super trashed, and the nice guy Kevin here is.
I took advantage of her and I roofied her drink.
Yeah, that's probably why I got really drunk after that. But he actually carried me to my place when I got all intoxicated.
And, yeah? What happened?
But Kevin dropped me while carrying me up to my room, and the next day...
The security guard actually saw that too, and he laughed too.
Yeah, and the next day I woke up with a bump in my head, some crazy migraine, and I thought, okay, well, I still have to thank him anyways because, well, I got home, so...
Yeah, and wasn't your costume all undone too?
So I woke up the next day and I was naked.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, holy shit. I'm like, I hope there's not someone next to me right now.
Yeah.
But there was no one. My cousin undid my costume. So thank God it was not him.
Yeah. Wow, I don't know if I should be offended right now. But yeah, so we actually so that was the beginning of our friendship. She eventually did rotation out in my hood in my good old Newton, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Best rotation ever, right?
Worst rotation ever. But, well, Kevin hosted me, his family hosted me, and it was awesome. I had a great time. Met his mom. His mom's like the cutest Asian lady ever. She was very sweet.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a really great time living in Boston.
Didn't you pick up like a little eating habit too, huh?
Yeah, I gained the most weight of my life. And this guy will leave me boxes of cookies, and he'll eat one, and he'll be like, hey, Angela, try some. And the next thing you know, it's gone because I ate them all.
Yeah, so sad story. So, so Angela, what's your first one?
So my first one is get a job. So here in California, it's definitely super saturated. So I was actually very nervous. I knew I wanted to come back to California. I did not want to live in Massachusetts. No offense, weather is not for me. I'm sorry.
Messed up.
But I really wanted to come back home. All my family and friends are here, so I wanted to move back home. But you know, it was super saturated, so I was pretty nervous about that, and a lot of people that actually were graduating from California wasn't even getting jobs. So I thought to myself, well, my chances are very slim. So of course, I had to sacrifice myself, live in the boonies for a little bit, and you know, make my way back down home. So I did get a job offer with CVS. It was...
And we actually ended up working together in the same like district and stuff.
Yeah, because this guy stalks me.
Yeah,
so yeah.
A stalker.
Yeah,
you know?
He was like, where's Angela working? I'm gonna go exactly there.
Exactly.
So anyways, we did end up in the same district, and I was living out in Oxnard. It's a lot of farmland. For those who have been there, it's nice and kind of peaceful.
Did you ever like cry because you're so far away?
I was pretty depressed for the first month or 2. You're so far away. I mean, it was close enough to still go back home during the weekends, but I was still pretty depressed.
Yeah, and like when I first came out here too, like when I threw a Hail Mary, went to California and stuff like that. Yeah. Man, it was pretty depressing. I had to drive sometimes LA traffic would be really bad. I had to drive like 2 hours out just to go to work and stuff, and sometimes I'd still be late, man.
Yeah.
Freaking crazy. But yeah.
I would never do what he did. I would just live kind of close to work.
Yeah. So how do you think the job market is now? Like in
To me, it's still obviously very like saturated, but it's who you know that gets you places. So eventually I was working my way back down home, so I knew someone who worked at Walmart that's in Riverside. I mean, I'm from OC, so that's about an hour away, and I was willing to do the commute for a little bit until I can find my way back down. And while I was working part-time at Walmart, my friend actually hooked me up with a per diem job in Costa Mesa, OC, yay. And so I was working 2 jobs at a time, but eventually they hired me on full-time in Costa Mesa at my little compounding pharmacy. So now I'm there and I'm very happy.
So you're a compounding pharmacist now?
Yes, I
am. Do you think you're better than all of us? That's messed up.
Maybe just a little bit.
For the people watching, a lot of them are asking me like, do you think there's still jobs out there and whatnot?
Yeah, I think there are definitely jobs out there, but it's really who you know. So connections and networking is the biggest thing, because I got that Walmart job pretty fast, and if I hadn't known my friend who knew the DM and talked to the DM, it would have been hard if you just did the full online process by just applying online. I think that's really hard to get in to a certain company that you want to get into. Even for the compounding job, I only got in because my friend was working there and put a good word in for me. So that's how you kind of get from place to place. Otherwise, it gets pretty tough because now you're competing with hundreds of people actually.
How about like the timing? So like around what time did you like get into Walmart and stuff like that?
Timing just seemed to work out just right. I think springtime, like towards like at the end of spring, maybe summer, is I feel like when people are moving, getting new jobs. So I think that's when more spaces open up. And
was it like after the matching and stuff like that too? You think?
I think so too, because everyone kind of decided, okay, now I know for sure where I'm going. So now spaces are opening up and people need to fill those spots again. So I think that probably had a thing to do with it too.
Oh yeah, by the way, for you guys that don't know, matching is like the whole residency thing, so yeah. But anyways, let's go on to the next thing. What is your second thing that you thought pharmacy school would be like?
Okay, so my second thing was to get rich. Which is obviously not gonna happen anytime soon.
Well, let's start like this. What do you think the money situation before you attended pharmacy school is like?
So I thought, okay, you're gonna make some great money and you don't have to bring home work. It's a 9-to-5 type of job, 8 hours, and once you finish, you can pay off your loans in like 2-3 years, no problem. You can save a bunch of money, buy my nice clothes, nice shoes, nice purses. Well, when you get out and you actually do get a job, I mean, yes, you're very excited, but there's tax.
Uncle Sam.
Yep.
Yes.
And so 40% almost, I would want to say, is taxed.
It's about 40%.
And you get really nothing back. So everyone keeps telling you that you'll get a lot of it back when you file taxes. It's not worth it.
Not really.
And you don't really get that much back. So that's all a lie. And then you have your student loans.
Yeah.
That takes a chunk too, depending how fast you want to pay it off. And definitely not paying it off in 1 or 2 years. I mean, I've already extended my loans from 10 to 15.
What?
I know, because of my mortgage, but that's,
gotcha.
I'll tell you that about that next. And so, yeah, and so after rent, loans, expenses, tax, you're only saving, what, like, I want to say like a fourth of what you make.
Yeah, so.
Because you get 40% of that gone already.
Yeah.
Half of that you actually take home is going into expenses, and then you get that last third.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, like when I started with CVS, I roughly made $10,000 pre-tax, right? So then like that left me $6,000 like after
actual,
tax.
Like, money in your account you see.
Yeah, that's what you see, right? And then like at least like
1,000 for
1,000 to 200, 1,000 to 2,000 out of your account immediately. That gives you about 4,000. And plus, I mean, we're not dirt broke, but I mean like...
It's still good money, but you still have to manage it pretty well, because it's not like it's raining money.
Yeah, you're not gonna be like fucking making it rain.
Like you still have to manage it, but it's doable, it's manageable. You'll still live a good life. You know, I can still eat well, I still can go have fun once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm just like, whatever, like I don't have to think about the money.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
That is.
Okay, and so let's move on to the next topic. What's the third thing you thought?
So the third thing was, okay, after my whole long distance relationship, didn't work out in pharmacy school.
So sad.
Very sad. Kevin went through it all with me too, so.
I watched this girl eat her problems away, man.
Yep. So once I finished, I thought, okay, I'm gonna go to California. All the hot guys are there. I'm gonna go on online dating. I'm gonna go on all these hot dates, and well, that didn't happen either.
Really?
Yeah. So living out in the boonies, there's all a downfall. You're gonna meet a lot of more ghetto people.
But didn't you like try dating out in that area and stuff?
So I did. I mean, I tried to make an effort. So I was in Oxnard. I actually drove up to like maybe LA. That's about 40 minutes, almost an hour, to go on dates. That's a lot of effort, girls. But anyways.
Was that like online dating or like?
Online dating. So I did online dating for 2 years. I mean, I had some good dates, but overall it was tough. You're busy all the time. I'm tired, and so it's a lot of effort to do it. I find myself getting kind of lazy. I just thought to myself like, I don't think this guy is worth it. Or sometimes guys don't even find it worth it. Like, I will tell them straight out, you know what? I actually live in Oxnard, and they're just like, drop.
Dude, that's fucked up.
There's this guy, oh my gosh, so I put, okay, I'm sorry, I did kind of lie, but I put my locations as LA, but honestly, who's gonna search beyond LA, right? So I put LA, and then this guy was all interested in it, and I thought, maybe I like this guy, you know, he's a doctor. I was like, maybe it'll work out, and so we started talking, and he got my phone number, and he called me. So he called me, and I had to like kind of let him know, like, hey, you know what, I'm actually living in Oxnard, and he goes, but it says LA here, and I said,
but you tricked him. You tricked him. You lied to him.
Okay, all right. So I kind of did, but at that point, if you're kind of interested, I thought maybe he would just be like, okay, well, let's just give a date a try. Well, never heard from him again.
Especially, I'm pretty sure you're like willing to go down all the time too. You know?
Yeah, and because I told him like I'm from OC and I'm eventually gonna go back down there, but he's just like didn't even want to give it a try.
Dang.
So
yeah. Did you? How many dates did you guys go on?
Me and that guy?
Yeah.
We didn't go on any.
What?
He called me and dropped me.
Dang.
Right away.
Fucking dude, I always hear these stories about dudes getting rejected, but first time like
I know, look
got
at me.
Cut off, man. That's wicked funny. But anyways, let's go on to the next one actually.
So my fourth one was to buy a house.
Okay.
So my dream was always to buy a house. Everyone wants that independence right after school, but obviously you need to save some money. So I mean, there is a personal story to it as well, but in the end I just wanted to buy a house, show my independence, and I didn't want to always live, you know, at my aunt's house or, you know, at my parents' house. So I eventually saved up some money, but obviously not enough for a down payment, unfortunately. My parents actually had to help me out.
How much is like a down payment, like roughly?
So down payment is...
No C.
Oh, well, it depends where you want to buy.
Let's say 20% down, because that's rule of thumb, right?
Yeah. You need to have at least 100K.
Cash, right?
Cash.
Yeah, cash.
That you're willing to shell out, and that's only for the down payment. Now, guys, there's a lot of fees, hidden fees buying these houses. So when I bought the house, I was thinking, okay, I got the down payment, but then here comes inspection fees, and then there's other fees that you have to put in during the bargaining process. Yeah. So they'll say, okay, I'll fix the roof for you, but I'm only gonna pay 50%. So you're gonna still have to pay the other 50% where you shell out that money. That's still $1,000, $2,000 right there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different hidden fees to
and
go with it.
Taxes too.
Taxes, yes, right. But overall, well, property tax, that's a whole nother story, guys. Those are unexpected bills that you might just get in the mail every once in a year.
Yeah.
But overall, it's worth it for me. I like the independence, but it does take a chunk of your pay as well.
Yeah.
So once you start owning a house, say goodbye to all those nice dinners.
Oh my god, that sounds so sad.
I know, but it's true.
I mean, like, why do you exactly want to buy a house? Because I'm actually total opposite. I don't want a house whatsoever. I
know. I mean, I try to convince this dude to buy a house. Nope. He does not. For me, I think it's an investment. So some people don't think so, like this guy here.
Yeah.
But I think it's an investment. But also, I like having that feeling of feeling it's mine. I feel like when I'm paying rent, a lot of the rent in OC is almost as much as a mortgage. So I feel like if I'm paying that much already, I might as well own a house. Obviously the mortgage is still gonna be more, and obviously you can find, you know, cheaper rent somewhere or a room with a lot of people, but you know what? For me, that's just how I think, and that's why I want a house.
Dude, when you had the keys in your hand and you unlocked it and stepped through the door, how did you feel?
I was horrified.
Horrified?
Yeah.
Dude, you've been wanting this since your childhood. You wanted your own room and all that.
Yep. It was tough because owning your own house, I was scared. Now there comes all these fees. Oh yeah, there's insurance that you have to buy, and there's just a lot of things to take care of. And it was such a headache, and my house wasn't in move-in ready conditions, so we had to do a lot of remodeling, renovations. I wish you guys could see my house because we did a video there, and
dude, it's fucking nice too. And I was like, oh man, but
we did shell out a lot of money on that.
Yeah. Okay. And what's the last expectation you have?
My last one was actually to be respected. Now,
okay.
It's interesting. So now, after going through all the school, I don't expect people to be like bow down or say Miss Dr. Angela, but you get a lot of bad patients and they totally disrespect you. They are so ungrateful. They cuss at you. They sometimes just bring you so much frustration and grief that you go home really just sad or depressed, sometimes angry, and then you get your management that is just hounding you down to get numbers and scripts. They don't even care about your own quality of life. Whereas you're like preaching quality of life to people, but you can't get your own quality of life.
Dude, I thought it was the craziest thing. Like, I'm not sure if it was the same case for you, but for me, like, dude, I was a healthcare professional, right? And I couldn't go to a fucking doctor's because I had no time because I was working all the time, dude.
Yeah.
Freaking wicked crazy.
Yeah. That happens.
Yeah.
And in the end, and you end up not taking care of yourself as much as you thought you would because you're so busy, and you end up actually giving all this advice and not taking your own advice. You know, and you have all these patients sometimes just being so ungrateful to you, and you try so hard sometimes that you're just thinking, why did I go to all this school and not have it being used?
Yeah, and I think like it's something that all pharmacists sort of go through. Like, people are like, you're not, what are some of the things that people told you? You're not a real doctor, read that focus. It says Dr. Kevin Yee, bitch.
I've had people call corporate on me just because they couldn't get their C2s. I mean, I had people cuss at me all the time in my face. They're like in your face yelling. You would just think that people would have a little bit more respect, but
I think the saddest part, what really upsets us about that, is that we have like really good intentions for them. We're trying to help these people, and they're just so ungrateful, and it's just like,
I have to say I'm a very patient, nice person. I mean, I don't know if, okay, shut up. Anyways, he won't vouch for me, I'll vouch for myself. But after doing a little bit of retail, maybe even a year, I felt like I was a little bit more distant and cold. Like I'm able to just push people off and just say no is no. Before I'm like, oh, okay, let me see what I can do. Like I was trying so hard, and then after a few experiences with some really bad patients or patients that lie to you, actually, you're just like, you know what? I'm not gonna make that big of an effort. I'm not gonna make that leap for you because you feel like you can't really trust people that much anymore.
And it's a sad thing because, I mean, it's sort of like these patterns, right? You go through, you say a certain thing, they fucking lash out on you, and it makes you less discouraged to help people. So, I totally feel you on that.
But in the end, I still try. But, I mean, the first year it's tough because you start to really kind of gauge yourself how to act in that kind of environment. So, it's a learning process.
And it's something that you get better with too, like interacting with people, you know what to say, people's triggers. One thing that I picked up really quickly in retail is like I can read people right when they come into my pharmacy. Yeah. You
can tell pretty fast. But that's all with experience, guys.
I guess. Alright, so those are Angela's 5 realities and expectations. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to follow her on Instagram, it's Ann Fang. I'll put it right over here. Guys, if you like my video, like, subscribe. If you have questions for me, you can always email me at subscribers@refugeehustle.com, or you can hashtag AskKevinYee on Instagram with a video response, and I'll get back to you. But if you guys want to see more videos of Angela, because we're actually pretty tight, we're really close friends, let us know, and I'll throw her in a bunch of more videos, guys. Anyways, thank you for watching. Peace, guys.
Bye.